Hello, this is David from DN Cognitive Counseling. You look fat. The meal wasn't that good. Sure, I've had better. Size matters. All of that is people being honest. And is honesty always the best policy? It's an adage, it's what people say. But what would happen if you were truly honest about all thoughts, feelings, things that came out of your mouth? What would happen if honesty was the only way that you were able to communicate? Ironically, they have a movie specifically about that called Liar, Liar. And what you see is the amount of direct honesty that can lead to damage and hurt in any relationship. It's very important to understand what true honesty really means. There are many times you feel angry at somebody, and in that moment, you honestly have a derogatory feeling. You may even wish them ill will or not to be alive. That does not mean that's your honest opinion. It means in that moment, you have a specific feeling. We want to understand what is true about our feelings, what we project about our feelings, and what we have to project to hurt somebody else. In the 9th step of AA, there's the concept that you make amends except when it will cause harm to yourself or others. Too many times people think, I now need to get honest, and I need to go back to my wife and tell her about the affair that I had 15 years ago. And that all that's going to do is destroy her and you. The aspect of being honest in that moment in time is not to destroy everything, to make yourself feel good, to get it off your chest. But you have to take a look at what that honesty is going to do and what its consequences are. When you are having a relationship with anybody, taking account in their feelings, taking account how you are going to present something could emotionally hurt them or help them, depending on what you say. Too many times we use honesty as a weapon to be able to say, well, I was just being honest. What do you want? Do you want me to lie to you? And of course, when people say that, who's going to say, yes, I want you to lie to me? But that honesty is not really honesty. It's a way to be abusive without really taking responsibility for what the person is saying. Many times in relationships, people have thoughts and feelings. And they have thoughts and feelings about other people. If every time you had a thought and feeling and you came home to your spouse and told them about your thoughts and feelings, you won't have a relationship that's going to last too long. And by the way, vice versa. There are many times that your spouse is going to have thoughts and feelings and could absolutely damage you. And then the entire fabric of that relationship will fall apart in the name of honesty. It's important to curb honesty with the aspect of somebody's feelings. Now, obviously, if you are doing something damaging to the relationship, supposing having an affair, and you are putting them in peril because they are not testing themselves possibly for what you are infecting them with from another person, then yes, you do have to tell them so they can get tested and protect themselves just in case. But if you did something 15 years ago, and you know both of you are fine, and there's nothing that's going to be an issue about now, then what would be the point of telling them when it's only going to cause harm? It's very important, again, to understand this idea of honesty on one hand and somebody's feelings on another, which is the reason why, if the cooking wasn't that good, saying, I'm okay, it was good, is not the most horrific thing in the world. Saying, I don't mind the wait, if you do, is not the most horrific thing in the world if it doesn't negate or an aspect that doesn't hurt the relationship. Now, if it affected you in terms of your attraction and it was hurting the relationship, then your honesty has to come out. Because if let's play that out for a minute. You're not being honest. You don't tell the person what's going on for you. And next thing you know, you're not, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. I'm not finding them attractive. That could be problematic. But supposing for a minute it doesn't bother you that much, but you do notice the difference. Stating that at that point would be better to say, no, it's all right, no problem here. Because underneath it all, it's true. I love you, or I'm attracted to you, no matter which way you are. Would it be better that way? Maybe. But that's not enough to hurt this relationship. And understanding that truth and weighing it with the person's feelings makes a big difference. Your child ever bring you a picture? And the child comes over and is so excited, and you're looking and going, you're not Picasso, kid. Although we're not going to talk about Picasso, but no, you're not Rembrandt. You're not a Raphael. You know Leonardo. The idea is that the picture doesn't show a lot of artistic ability. But to tell that child this is not good, what would it do to the child's self-esteem? So what do? It's your child that gave it to you. So what do? You show love and compassion. Wow, look how beautiful this thing is. We're going to put it on the refrigerator. And then the child feels good about themselves and it raises their self-esteem. The same thing applies in relationships. Now, it doesn't always go to that level of that. Sometimes it does, but it doesn't always go to that level. But you do in a relationship have to be understanding of that person's emotional states and understanding what are you saying, and is the truthful thing that you're sharing, is it worth saying or not? This is something to think about, to talk about. Where that line is could be argued. It gets a little gray in certain areas. If you like this video, hit like. If you disagree with anything I said, please tell me. If you would like to become a patron to this channel, write down the Subcribe-star and click the button. And again, if you didn't subscribe to the channel already, please do. And most important of all, please share this with people in terms of the conversation, because getting more people to talk about these types of things, I think would be better. Again, I thank you very much for joining me this evening, and good mental health.